Hello YouTube, welcome on this fine day, and this is my Hazoret the Fervent historic Brawl deck. This deck aims to win by going face and killing the opponent. That's it. Easy as that, mono red. Let's go. Also a few notable things to this mono red list is I have really shaved off the 3-drops. Like I really want the deck to be as low to the ground as possible. Because here's the thing with Hazoret, right? You want your to empty your hand and then try to attack on turn 4 with Hazoret when she comes down. And so obviously there are a lot of great 3-drops in that, but I've decided to only have the ones in the deck that have immediate impact on the board. Like, I'm not running a Ferocodon, I'm not running Anax, because those don't do damage when they hit the board. Like, even Legion of Warboss creates a 1/1 immediately, right? And that's more board impact than the Ferocodon, in a way, right? So we are rocking 13 1-drops here. And that is obviously like just 1-drop, maybe double 1-drop on turn 2, and just dump the hand out. Also, I'm playing a lot of Jumpstart and Escape cards, because you can discard those to Hazoret and then use their value later when you need it in a long game. And yeah, also like Aftermath cards like Insult Injury can just like, you go Arsonist into Rigging Runner and another 1-drop and then just Insult, and that is like 5 damage, right? So it is really insane to some extent, and yeah, you can just put a lot of damage onto the board with this deck. The 4-drops, only using the best ones here. Chandra doesn't increase your hand size. Experimental Frenzy, you can draw the cards, discard them, and then use the top of your deck to play, and Torbrand is Torbrand in a mono red shell, right? You play that, you win the game. Easy as that. And Embercleave, I'm trying this out because Hazoret can attack when you have 1 or fewer cards in hand, so you can have an Embercleave in the hand and then just Embercleave Hazoret. It seems really nice, so I'm trying this out. Yeah, land base, 24 lands, not running less lands, because the reason is we are guaranteed to hit Hazoret every single game, so we might as well hit our land drops, and further lands can just be discarded to the Hazoret. So I'm fine with just drawing a bit too many lands for your average mono red deck, but since this is Brawl, we can just discard the excess lands because we always have the Hazoret online, basically. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed the games, and I will see you. We are up against the Scarab God, and that seems like a hand. Fervent Champion into Rigging Runner Shock. Overall, super fun, happy times. Perfect. We can dump 5 cards by turn 2. Yeah. Like, I'm currently thinking how many cards I'm going to dump. Like, I need to draw 2 cheap Sue. I would take the Fervent Champion here, not the Embercleave. Yeah, because now that allows me to go Rigging Runner. Like, the Embercleave is only good from turn 5 onwards, or I have the Hazoret on. But in this way, so I'm just going to Rimrock Knight, attack, Rigging Runner, and empty my hand onto the board, right? And then I can play the Hazoret. Okay, what are they going to play here? I guess okay, Pontus Monument, that's fine. And like, I didn't need to draw anything particularly awesome. Also should have saved the shock here. But overall, like, nah, damn it, doesn't work. I can't, like, it just doesn't work out with the Hazoret right now. Maybe I'm supposed to aggressively mulligan more with this deck to a point where I am just able to drop Hazoret anyways, right? That's a land, yeah. I think they take out the robber here, right? Yeah, seems like a good play. But yeah, maybe I'm supposed to mulligan a bit more, like, with this deck to be able to have a lower hand size so I can play Hazoret more consistently. That's one weird thing to think about, right? Yeah, I can just go with Hazoret, sure, swing in with the team. So these two swing in no matter what, right? If I swing in with the Hazoret Fervent champion, they're going to block this, and then I get... Yeah, if I get the 8 damage... No, that's lethal here. So they can't line up the blocks like this. So I get the 1 additional damage through with the... I agree on this block though, right? Oh well. Because now it is lethal with just the Hazoret next turn. Well, no, they have the Bontus Monument, right? But Bajuka Bog. That doesn't get rid of the Phoenix because it is currently in my hand. Yep. And they die because they don't have another creature. GG. We are up against the Scarab God. As usual, as is tradition on this channel, right? ImNotFine versus Scarab God, the channel. Also, I've got requests to build a Scarab God deck. And one thing I don't know is if I should take a little more Reanimator style or Control Shell. And personally, I think I would go into a more Control Shell and then just have the Scarab God be a nice topper, right? But, yeah, I'm not sure because it's weird. It's weird building a Control Shell with creatures, and I think like 9 creatures are fine, right? Just having something to reanimate to finish it out, and then against other creature matchup, you just overwhelm them with their own creatures that go to the graveyard. But man, I am having trouble building that deck. It is something. Yep, now we just curve out. And that's a bit awkward if we don't draw land here. If we draw 1-drop or land, both are fine. 1-drop or land. Also, again, I didn't mulligan aggressively to have the Hazoret. But I mean, my curve was good, right? So I guess that's fine. Like, I won't throw away a perfectly fine hand just to have Hazoret. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how they kill them, but if I kill them and then have resources available to me, that's super cool, right? Okay, that's the exact hand I didn't want to see. I could go with the Phoenix here. That doesn't empty my hand, though. And this is just the same damage, right? So I just rather empty my hand here. Okay. Drawing a land would be nice. That would allow me to activate the Minotaur and use Lightning Strike. Discarding the Chandra, and then I have the Hazoret available. Or if I draw a land, I could just go into the Chandra for a more value-oriented route. It is weird. They drop the Scarab God here most likely, which is always a bit awkward for us. But we can just go around it, right? We are just wider than him. And, yeah. Makes sense to just swing it with everyone, because if they drop the Scarab God here, we swing it with everyone. They either like block the champion or the Firebrand, those die, it's okay, right? 1 damage, whatever. But if they block the Minotaur, we can just Lightning Strike that, and the Scarab God dies, goes back to their hand again, and the Minotaur lives because that actually has first strike. But maybe in that spot we even might just want to drop a Chandra, right? Because just Chandra is fairly annoying if they can't like murder side it, but if they do, they lose 2 life again. Then we have the Lightning Strike as a follow-up. And if we draw land, we could all... Yeah, it is... Yeah, we have a lot of plays here that, like, it may not seem obvious at first glance, but I do think aggro decks are probably the most, like in general, the hardest archetype to pilot correctly, because you just don't have room for errors. Like, you just don't. One mistake and you just don't get there. In combo decks, okay, you kill them one turn later, but in aggro decks against some decks, you will never ever kill them if you can't come back. Also, this is the reason why I prefer to have creatures with immediate or board impact, at least in this version. Okay, they're going with the Devotee and probably another creature. Yeah, I think that is a... Yeah, that's probably a better choice than a Scarab God here. Yeah, but Arsonist, yeah, let's just get rid of this, really, and swing with everyone. And the Midnight Reaper is just going to make their life miserable here. And they're going to block one thing anyways, so I could just hold back the Firebrand and then just use that to kill the Reaper if they decide to block the champion. Yeah, sure. And that pushes 1 damage anyways, because that's dead, right? Like, if I attack with both, that survives, that dies. So I push 1 damage either way, no matter what happens here. And this is just more beneficial to us. Yep, they block the champion. We get rid of the Reaper with the Firebrand. They are at 7 life? Yeah, 7. 7 life for our opponent. Land obviously allows us to drop Hazoret. I think they're just going to drop the Scarab God here. No, just Scarab God. If we draw land and they play Scarab God, they're also just dead. Yeah, so that's a good play. I like that. Sunscorched Desert might do it though, right? I don't know. Math is for blockers. So this is... we swing with everyone, just for the sole reason that we can't just push damage now and we have the 2 guaranteed damage with the Hazoret. Yeah, just kill him. This is not a particularly hard turn in this case. The previous one was quite interesting though. If we drew land, that is. Yep, Minotaur. Like, they have to block the Hazoret somehow, right? Yeah, and we push 1, 2, 3, 4 damage. Yep. They do gain a bit back, though, right? But if they just play Scarab God and nothing else, they also die because we can activate Phoenix in the air. We have 4 in the air, swinging with everyone. And even if they manage to block the whole team, the Arsonist dies and they get pinged for 1 damage. Because remember, the Bontius Monument does give them life over the course of the game. So that's one thing to remember. I think one of the ways we could lose, kind of, is if they have another 3-drop here, because that allows them to go Scarab God into another 3-drop. But it's going to be hard for them. Really, really hard. Like, they need some big source of life game, otherwise they're pretty done for. Or just like Exile or Languish would also be pretty decent. They are thinking. Also, about my land base in this deck, I'm just running the 3 nice lands, right? I'm using the Sunscorched Desert. Since I'm not running the Chain Whirler, this is fine, right? And the Sunscorched Desert is a desert after all. It deals 1 damage for free, basically, right? Which is nice, but it can also be sacrificed to the Ramunap Ruins. If you decide to play Chain Whirler, I think this is not the card to put into your deck, though, because it's just so awkward. Yeah, that will do it. We are going to swing in with the team. And that is good game. Yep. And attack you. GG. We are playing against Shalai, Voice of Plenty, which is An interesting matchup, and this is not a hand we want to keep against Shalai, especially on the draw. This is better. This is maybe way better. I don't know, we will see. I don't like just dropping the Rimrock Knight without getting value out of the Boulder Rush. But yeah, maybe we have to do it, maybe not. Okay, they mold to 5. Ah, yes, this is perfect. Yep, Tin Street Dodger, then next turn we play the Rimrock Knight onto that, yep. Yep, make it big. And then Rigging Runner with first strike. Nice. Bounty Agent also doesn't seem to do too much against us, which is obviously quite beneficial. Okay, we can't play Insult here, and that just adds insult to injury, so to speak. So we activate the Tin Street, we swing in with the team, and they can double block, and we can kill one thing here. But I guess that won't happen. And I think I'm going to, like, okay, 2 options. Viashino Pyromancer empties our hand faster for the Hazoret. And Rimrock Knight is a better target for Embercleave if we draw a land here. Insult. If we draw a land, we can just play Hazoret and then the Embercleave. But in order to do that, we need to dump our hand with the Hazoret. Let's just make it clean. Okay. They swing in with the Wingmare. Sure. Embercleave also dies to Agent. So that's also not the greatest plan overall. Ew. Yeah, Rimrock Knight. And Tin Street Dodger swing in. And the worst thing here would be to, like, for them to play Plains, play Lyra Dawnbringer. That would probably seal it. That's a Plains, but that's not a Lyra. Perfect. Because otherwise they could have played the Lyra and swing with Shalai. Nice. Yeah, this is rough. This is really rough. Because, yeah, the Embercleave just dies to their shenanigans, like with the Bounty Agent. Artifact Creature enchantment. So one of these dies. Just depends what. The problem is, like, the Taurbran. I think we have to like play the Taurbran first. To bait that out, because if we try to Embercleave first, we don't have a board left that Taurbran is worth playing on. So we just need to find a land here. Okay, if they do this, we can just swing with the team, right? So that is also quite nice. Yeah, just a ton of things here to do, and like I would just like to draw back-to-back lands. That wouldn't hurt certainly, and we basically drew all our top end. That is an Ahn-Crop Crasher though. That won't do anything here. And yeah, we can just swing in with all. And like it doesn't, like exerting this doesn't do anything, right? Because yeah, why would it? They block this here and then this on the Scorch Spear or the Tin Street. They take 7 damage in this case. Okay, Bounty Agent dies. That's great news for us, and we still have enough. Yeah, we have exactly enough cards on the battlefield to utilize our Embercleave. Ooh. That is quite unfortunate. They should also, they swing in for what? A bunch here? If they swing in with everything, they have 2 turn lethal on us, but I don't think that is the correct play, because if they swing in with everything, we are going to draw land and then insult them. That sounds rude, but that's what we're trying to do, right? Oh, they can just activate Shalai, swing in with this, sure, and the... Yeah, okay. Yeah, us, like, we just died here. Yeah. We drew all of our top end. And like, I think this is a really favorite matchup in general. Like, yeah, sure, they have hexproof, oh no, but... I mean, I can't do anything. Right? Yep, that is good game. GG. We're playing against Shalai, Voice of Plenty. And, yeah, I go first. This is a decent starting hand. I would love them to play a Lano Elves here, that we can Pillar of Flame. I would love us to see a 1-drop or 2-drop or just nothing. That is also fine. And we're going to Pillar of Flame face just to empty our hand faster. Legion Warboss is likely to come down next turn. And yeah, the Paradise Druid won't block anything here. Yep, being efficient. And swinging. There is an argument to be made that Runaway and Steam Paint is actually the more mana efficient play here, but I don't think it is. Shalai is coming down, probably. And we can just, okay, Lava Ring Adventurers, odd, even, interesting. And then that has protection from the... Then that has protection from the Hazoret, right? I like that. But now I'm just going to swing it with these three. Nice. I hope they block the Arsonist. That would be nice. But yeah, they won't, because I could kill the Paradise Druid. Deafening Silence can be annoying depending what we draw, right? But yeah, Chandra, like Shalai really counters Chandra though, which is annoying because we can't target them. Okay, how are we going to do this? Yeah, we're just going to like dump the, like, even though the Chandra is not effective right now, I think it's better overall to play it. So we swing in with these. This dies anyways, so you might as well get the 1 damage in. Sure. I'm fine by doing this. Yeah, sure, protection from even, and then... Yep, Shalai blocking. That's a good block, because now I have to pick the Shalai here. Yeah, okay, Scavenging Ooze. Oh yeah, they really like to prey on the mono red matchup, I guess. But protection from even. Do I care if Chandra dies here? I actually get an attack with Hazoret if I draw land here, right? No, I always get an attack with Hazoret because of the Runaway Steamkin. Yeah, that is fine. I can attack them. They can grow the Scavenging Ooze to 4. Or 5 even. Oh yeah. No, 4. There are only 2 cards in the graveyard that they can eat. Okay. Here we go. Play you. And then... Yep. Swing with the whole team, basically. To get them. And I really hope we top deck something like a heroic intervention here. That would be lovely. Well, from their deck, at least. Yep, grow one of the goblins. Doesn't matter which one, though. And that is slightly worse than any card, right? Like any non-land card. Oh well, it happens. Okay. And one thing to note is Hazoret goes around Shalai because that says each opponent. So that's quite nice to know. Scavenging Ooze is likely going to block the Legion Warbers, I think, because I don't need the mana from the Steamkin right now. Okay, that's fine, because they are essentially trading the Druid for the Steamkin, like value-wise. Does the... yeah, that's also saying each opponent, so that's nice. Next turn we are just... okay, they have one... they can gain 3 life. They're effectively 8 life here, which is obviously not optimal. The Lavabrink Adventurer will stay back to always block the Hazoret from this point on, probably. What else? What else? They swing in with Shalai. Okay, that's no ETBs for me. Sure. I hope they swing in with Shalai so we can get through with the flyer. I mean, what are we going to do? If we swing with everything, this blocks here. Then this dies, and this dies. We get it with 0 damage, which is also not optimal. And 0 is in fact less than 1. Yeah, just unfortunate. Oh well. Yeah. I think we lose this matchup because they will just grow their board to a point where they kill us. But I'm not sure. Ahn-Crop Crasher would be one of the better draws, I believe. Yeah, that would be quite nice. Hexproof, protection, everything. Swing with Shalai here? No, they don't. So we deal 2 damage to them with the Hazoret. And let's just pass turn again. Yep, I think we win this if they don't have more ways to gain life here. And we need to be careful to not put any more creatures into the graveyard. So if they attack with something like the Tocatli Honor Guard, I don't think we will block it at all. Also, they could have just put counters first and then use the Incubation Druid to like eat more cards. Right, just a little misplay from them, but I don't think it will matter in the long run. We can use our own Hazoret to block the Scavenging Ooze, so that's also something, obviously. And yeah, putting another counter on all the creatures. If they swing in with Shalai, maybe they get a bit of game on us, but yeah, I think they're too slow if they don't gain more life here. They probably want to... okay. Ah, I see. Ooh, yeah. Scavenging Ooze getting trample is going to be kind of a clock, though. That is going to be annoying. Swing with Gemrazor and Shalai, and that's a 2-turn clock, I believe. Don't know, like we reduce that by 8 damage, that's 6. Oh, they don't swing with Gemrazor. That is just perfect. That just gives us more time to win. And that's Nah, they are at 4 life. Don't be fooled here, right? And that's just... yeah. They need to top deck something, otherwise they're dead. Lovely. Yep, eat this. And yeah, when we make our blocks for the turn, we need to, as I said again, make sure that we need to make sure that what's it called? That we don't let anything go to the graveyard. Gem Razor, sure, that is fine. So how much can they grow their team? They're 1 off, right? Yeah, they're 1 mana off of double growing. Yeah, they swing in with everyone, which does make a lot of sense here. And we're just going to do this, this, right? Yeah, that's even, but oops. I think that prevents the most amount of damage in this case. Yeah, I like it. I do like it. Yeah, perfect. No creatures go to the graveyard. And that is probably going to be game. We blocked everything. Yep, we also needed to block the like, otherwise we would have just been dead. But yeah, that was a clutch game. Thanks, Hazoret. GG. Our next opponent is going to be Marwyn the Nurturer, and I think this is a favorite matchup if we just have a shock or something like that. I think this classifies as something like that. We're just going to have a great time, really. It's also interesting, do we want to play the Firebrand or the Ridging Runner first to like conceal information? And based on this draw, I think I'm fine just Lightning Axing a Mana Dork. May seem overkill, but we can discard the Chandra and then just have a Hazoret. Yeah. Yeah, that's going to be perfect. Dwine an Elite. Okay. Okay, yeah, let's go full overkill mode on this guy. Drop all the beautiful destruction effects on them. Next turn dump our hand and then have the Hazoret available. They can't play the Marwyn here. The Vivian also doesn't do too much. Do I care about that? Yeah, I kind of care if my opponent can flash in creatures. That would indeed be unfortunate. So I'm going to take the 2 damage here to the Vivian. And now I'm going to hold back the Fanatical Firebrand. Simply because... do they have a 0 mana creature? Probably. What's that name? The Serpent? Yeah, probably the Stone Cold Serpent. But yeah, if I... here's the thing. If they play land and then play Marwyn into 1 mana elf, that's going to be quite bad for us, so I'm going to keep the Firebrand around. And this is basically my reasoning for that. Now. Oh, that's a 3/3. Okay. But yeah, we're just going to Hazoret and just go face again and again and again and again with our indestructible 5/4. Yep, good jump, I believe. And we just keep the Firebrand on the board for the Marwyn. because they can't instant speed their elves. Because they don't have a Vivian anymore. Okay. That is a respectable card on the board. And I really, like at this point... Yeah, I kind of guess I can't just go this, right? Discard this. You make this unblockable. And then swing in with all of these. Yeah, makes sense. And the Arsonist as well, because if they block that, we are just going to ping the Archdruid and really limit their mana here. Right? Yep. And it would have been even better if they block with the Glider, because then the 1 damage would have killed them here. So I could have also attacked with the Rigging Runner as well, right? Oh well. Okay, Marwyn is going to come down, and she will be a 3/3 immediately. Yep. Which is obviously quite annoying overall. But yeah, let's... Can't be blocked. And let's just swing in. Yep. Now the Rigging Runner isn't really useful here. Could have also maybe used the Embereth. Not sure what was better in this case. Okay. And then pass the turn. So now the question becomes, can they kill us fast enough? They can kill the... Okay, that is quite fast. Like, they do have all the mana in the world. Right? They do have that going for them. They can kill the Gingerbread with the Rex Sage. Which is what they're going to do. Yep. And Marwyn just grows to really big here. Okay. Now Leah is another indestructible card, so that is quite annoying. So since Hazoret can't like come through, I'm just going to risk factor them to hopefully draw the cards and then get a flyer or something evasive along those lines. Oh, I like it. I like that. Well played by the opponent. Yeah, we just swing with everyone. We just swing in with everyone. And they're going to block here. Yeah, sure. And I'm going to activate the Castle Embereth. Yeah, like these have to die. Yeah. Makes sense. Force the Embereth activation in this case. And the gods are going to battle it out. End the turn. I think they made the right call in taking the damage here. If I get... They don't draw anything as well, right? Oh yeah, they have the Nylea. Oh, we can't close it out right now. It is tough, because we take just so much damage next turn. Oh yeah. Is there... No, there isn't a single card in my deck that would give me lethal in a single turn. Okay. And that is... good game, I believe. Oh, okay. Activate this once more. Is this a card that could do it? No. It is not, but it's still a fun card. And swinging at you, but yeah. GG! We are ready to play against Jodah, Archmage Eternal. what do we have here? Lightning Strike lines up really nicely with Jodah. 1, 2, maybe another 1-drop would obviously be optimal here. But yeah, so far I'm liking this hand. Let's see. Yep. Oh, and also 5 colors. The decks do play a lot of shocks, right? So that's awkward. Yeah. I would love to draw one of my 12 1-drops that are left in the deck. So I'm playing a decent amount, so to speak, right? And a healthy amount. That's okay. Ancient Ziggurat. Okay, that's going to be. Do we pick off the Leafkin Root or do we pick off the Jodah? That is the question, right? We activate this anyways, though, right? Leafkin Root or Jodah? If Jodah doesn't come down for one more turn at least if we kill the Leafkin Root here. And also, since their deck is all even, this may make their curve really awkward. So I'm just going to do this. And next turn we just double 2-drop. Whatever they play here, it's basically impossible to not get like swinging with the team and have something block here because they need to have something with 3 power. So I guess that won't happen. Okay, Interesting. Is that a flame sweep? No, that can't be a flame sweep. It's only even cards, right? Yeah. So let's just dump our hand here. And I'm doing this because it's more mana efficient, and if we do draw land or something like along those lines, we can attack with the Hazoret as well. That's why I'm doing it like this. Otherwise, I'm just going to drop the Legion Warblers next turn for the immediate board impact. Okay, Jodah is probably going to hit the field. Yep, thought so. And yeah, land, Hazoret. You can't be blocked, but they will block the Tinstric Dodger anyways, right? They will probably block something like the Viashina Pyromancer or the Hazoret if they have a board wipe. Yeah, so that pretty much speaks board wipe to me. But if they board wipe, they can't do anything because we're just going to Hazoret them to death until they're dead. Incubation Root, sure. Oh, that is fine. And that is good game. Yep, Ember Hauler. Hazoret discarding the War Boss and swinging. GG. Yeah, I think that like killing the Leafkin Root on turn 2 really messed them up. Yep, GG. We are going to play against 5-color Niv-Mizzet. Niv-Mizzet Reborn is the name of the game, and this hand is too high curve to keep, basically. Even though the opponent goes first and shock is keepable when going second against them, really, because we can just shock their mana dorks, but yeah, this is probably much better. 1, 2, 3, 4. All the guaranteed damage. And at this point I wouldn't mind just, I don't know, drawing anything. Embercleave seems also kind of decent, right? Okay, and also can't shock the Paradise Druid in general. Yep. I think the best thing to draw would be a mana dork. No, what am I talking about? Mana dork, 1 mana drop. Okay, Leasing Kyriated and Drover. Man, sometimes you really wish you had that that sweet Goblin Chain Whirler, right? Okay, what are you going to do? Insult just is 3 damage right now. Phoenix just empties her hand faster. If we could Ember Hauler, but that line, like activate Ember Hauler, but that line doesn't seem too great because they can play Niv anyways. And we can't follow up with anything. Ahn-Crop Crasher seems really nice to drop after Niv, like after play Niv, because then we can exert around the Niv. So yeah, I think Phoenix of Ash is probably best pick here. I think we can get more value out of the Insult. And also Insult deals more damage. Like, I could just Insult and then drop the Sun-Scorched Desert onto them. And I think this is a turn where they just use the Niv-Mizzet. But if they do that, I think I'm just going to Ahn-Crop Crasher them. Okay, that's a Time-Wide Thought Erasure D-Spark. Yeah, so I'm going to 100% drop the Ahn-Crop Crasher here. Make the Niv-Mizzet not able to block. And then, it's awkward. We still do it like this. Yep. All attack, set you to exert. And we... the nice thing here is we leave up the like they probably want to wipe the board. We leave up the Ember Hauler to ping somewhere. Okay, so in this case I think they swing in, return the Niv to hand, like, yeah, swing with Niv, return that to hand, eat the food. Oh, but we can't really do anything against that. Oh, I think it's better for them to create a food and then board wipe us. It's probably overall the better play. If they want to return a mana rock like the Elysian Curated, I think like float mana, bounce this to hand and then play it again. If they do this, we are just going to ping the creature in response to prevent them from doing exactly that, basically. It is interesting. Also our hand is a bit awkward. I think I want to be more low to the ground with this deck. Then I am in this deck, but there are not that many good 1-drops in mono red right now for Singleton. It's when they... okay, so I can't... like, they don't target anything here, so... I'm just going to do this. Yeah, because that's on resolution, not on cast. They should have... Here's the thing. Yes, they can now Thought Erasure in the same turn as well. But I think it would have been more beneficial to float mana with the goose. Not float mana, create an additional food with the goose and then bounce it. But I do like that play that they did there. I really appreciate that one. If they Thought Erasure me, however... oh yeah, okay, perfect. I was going to say, if they Thought Erasure me in this case, they were probably in trouble. Because depending on what I drew... No, I couldn't attack with Hazoret anyways. Yeah, D-Spark. Sure, D-Spark for the Hazoret, but not going to play Hazoret here. Sure, Legion Borbos, swing it in. And if they Thought Erasure us, like they're going to discard the insult injury here, and that would also be okay. Yes, sure, attack, they block with the goose. They eat one of the food tokens to gain life. And maybe it was better for us to, like in the previous turns, just Ember Hauler the goose, because we knew they had the... Yeah, interesting. Very interesting. They want to leave up the 2 mana. Probably, like, if they have another land drop, they can make that leave up 2 mana for the Hazoret. Insult Injury is going to come in clutch next turn, though. And, yeah. Just trying to raise them. Hold them tight. 2-drop wouldn't be too bad. That's a 2-drop. Yep. So we can insult here. So we can insult first, and if they don't block... I think it doesn't matter too much if Steamkin is on 1 or 2. We could also just... Okay, we could discard the insult and then use that to kill the goose. That is also a thing we can do. Right, cut them off mana. And then if we draw... Yeah. So let's try that line of play, that seems nice. That also pushes the most damage this turn. Okay, Burning Fist. They can just... Yep, injury, and then 2 damage to them. Nice. So they go down to 5 life this turn, right? Yeah. No, not 4, 5. They go down to 2. Because they're not going to eat the token. I think they're going to create a token, but maybe that's the losing line of play because we have the Phoenix. Because when I think they need to eat the token in this turn. Yeah, that is the correct play, because otherwise they can't just board wipe and survive anything here. That just puts a lot of pressure onto them, so they do go down to 5, as I said previously. And yeah, 5 is a good number to be at, because if they board wipe this, we can Hazoret as well. Yep. Good game. That is good game. Yep. And Hazoret. GG. We just managed to put in just enough pressure onto them so they didn't have time to react. GG. We are playing against fan favorite Scarab God. Yes, yes, I know. My Scarab Gods is in the work. I hear you, people of the internet, but you have to wait a bit, because I'm not going to release that deck until I'm satisfied with it, and I am not satisfied with it yet. Okay, Temple of Deceit coming down. Does this... No, that doesn't give them life. Perfect. Just lovely. Okay, what's happening next here? Mana Rock, Counterspell, all viable options, obviously. Mana Rock it is. Nice. Sure, we are going to run up the mountain. Earthshaker Khenra faces the place, and we are going to face. Yeah. Okay. They have 4 mana available to them. And that means they're likely to counter something. I'd rather have them countering the Phoenix of Ash, to be honest, than the Legion Warboss, because like if they let that resolve, that tells us okay, they are going to have a board wipe, and if they board wipe the Legion Warboss, it's just so nice, like, because Legion Warboss, if left unchecked against a deck that doesn't really run creatures, well, obviously they have one in the command zone, but this can just ramp out so quickly in damage. And here's the thing, if they board wipe this, or like, probably they don't right now because they Heartless acted this, but okay, Raise Mora. Like, this just is so threatening by its own, like on its own, that like they just have to board wipe again, right? Land into Scarab God is probably going to hurt. Oh, perfect. They don't have an untapped land. Just perfect. Liliana minusing onto the Scorch Spitter is probably the best play they have here. Yep, I 100% agree. And then we are just going to... No, I want to tap like this game. It would just be lovely. And I'm just going to... This exiles the creatures, but they have enough fodder in our own graveyard currently with the Scarab God. So I'm just using the sorcery speed here. Because there are enough creatures in the yard already that it's getting too problematic. So I don't care if I exile the Brazen Boar, because that can't block anyways. So that's nice. So how many did... Oh, 3. Perfect. So next turn is going to be Sunscorched Desert, Shock Phase, getting this out of the yard, and then there are no creatures in the graveyard left for the Scarab God to take. Which is just amazing. Sunscorched Desert, going phase. Yes. Shock you. And cleaning up our graveyard. Oh, just lovely. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. And now we swing in with these two. And yeah, we're not going to swing with the Warboss, so they don't have anything they can get from the graveyard as well. Yep. And next turn, I think I'm just going... If they don't remove the Phoenix of Ash, we are... Oh, they're hovering it. Don't hover it, opponent. Thank you. If they are not killing the Phoenix of Ash, I'm just dumping a bunch of mana into that. And... But here's the thing, they can just Brazen Borrow it, right? Yeah. Yeah, they can Brazen Borrow it, and because of that, I'm just going to... via Shino, go face with that, and Hazoret, and then swing in. And I'm going to swing in with just these cards, right? Because I don't want them to take the Phoenix out of our graveyard. Like, this way nothing lands in any graveyard here. They really can't, like if I attack with the Phoenix, they could have just blocked here, get stuff back, and no, just deny the Scarab God activation essentially. They have to block the Hazoret, they can't afford not to, right? Oh wow, wow. Do they have a Languish? Like, here's the thing, like, even if they let this through and then Languish me, I have the Ramunap Ruins, I can deal 4 damage in this spot from my land base alone. It is brutal. It is absolutely brutal. And, yeah, that combined with the Earthshaker Khenra, like, if they Languish here, we just haste in the Earthshaker. Also, if they Languish, they don't have it obviously, right? But if they Languish, we let the Hazoret go to the graveyard and then exile it with the Phoenix of Ash. Like, instead of putting it back in the command zone. Ashiok. And that does it. That is a good game. And yeah. Sure, how... It is enough, right? Yeah. We just exile the U, and that is a good game. We are done with the games. I hope you enjoyed them as much as I did, and I think this deck is obviously a blast to play. Moderate is always a delight. It is fun to pilot, I think so, at least, and it is probably an unpopular opinion, but I do think this is like in general, aggro decks are hard to pilot, and not necessarily this deck. It has some really interesting decision points, right, as you've seen in the games. And like, I think that one turn against Niv-Mizzet where we discarded the insult injury, and that just came in really clutch, right? But overall, the deck obviously benefits from having more 1-drops in it, and I think I will try to go even lower to the ground than I already am. I think the average CMC is something, yeah, it's 2.2 it. we can go a bit lower, and this is obviously a bit skewed because we have something, some cards with Spectacle. But yeah, overall a pretty fun deck in my opinion. The other mono-red commander to try out is Torbran, Thane of Redfell, and that deck plays a bit different. Because you wouldn't play something like a Bloodrage Brawler. Torbran really wants to have more instances of damage, and Hazoret really favors cards that have upside but like discard. Like Bloodrage Brawler is like the perfect example for a good Hazoret card, right? Or like Lightning Axe card that just decimate your hand and then you just leverage that by playing the Hazoret. Overall, a pretty fun commander. It is probably one of the better pure aggro commanders out there, and it really goes into distance against some control decks. And this is what Hazoret does better than Torbran. Torbran has this, oh, you die in turn 4 if you don't do anything against me, but Hazoret has this, if you can't deal with it overall, like if your deck just can't deal with the Hazoret, you're just going to die somewhere along the line. And it's basically having more burst versus having a better long game, if that makes sense. Like Hazoret goes more into the distance and just can't get there in some cases. Against the win we had against Shalai, like we wouldn't have had that win with Torbran by any chance, really. Overall, yeah. If you want to pilot this deck, it is probably really fun. And also think about this. You probably will have some decision points where you don't think you had a decision, but in hindsight you could have done something differently. And that's like the thing with aggro, why I think it's hard to pilot in general, because yeah, you sometimes don't even think you have a decision to make and then you just misplay without even noticing it. If you enjoyed this video though, please comment, please subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.